Okay, let's look at a couple of common diseases of the immune system. Again, this isn't meant to be an entire comprehensive course on these, but there's a few that you should be aware of, and we're going to break down the terms that are associated with them. Okay, first up, we have something called autoimmune diseases. We'll take a look at a couple of different sorts, certainly not everything that's out there, but a couple of common ones. But let's first break down the term autoimmune because it'll help us to understand what's happening inside the body and what the root cause of all of these diseases are. The term autoimmune, again, if you need to hit pause, see if you can do it first. We'll do it together. Okay, so there is a prefix in the term autoimmune, and it is auto, which refers to self. The root term here is immuno, which refers to protection. And just the E and IE, any sort of ending where we're just kind of finishing off a word to make the pronunciation sound better, really just refers to pertaining to. So the term autoimmune means pertaining to self-protection. While that is the strict definition of the term autoimmune, that's not quite genuine to what's happening inside of the body. What's really happening is that we are not recognizing parts of our body as being parts of ourself. Prior to birth, we essentially take an inventory of all of our cells and we go, hey, this is me. This way, our body does not recognize any one of our cells or our organs as being foreign because we tend to fight off foreign objects. This is why we don't generally fight off ourselves. For folks with this autoimmune or any one of the autoimmune diseases we're going to talk about, we're recognizing ourselves as being something that shouldn't be there. So when we're saying we're pertaining to self-protection, we're kind of breaking down our own body because our body doesn't recognize ourself as self. So we think we need to protect against our own body systems. Okay, let's take a look at a couple examples. It's certainly not every example out there. There are whole textbooks on this. But some of the most common things would be things like rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, so in this particular case, it's really what are we not recognizing as part of us? So in rheumatoid arthritis, what we're not recognizing is the joint fluid in between all your bones. And so your body starts to actively attack the joint fluid between all of the bones in your body. This creates a very serious type of arthritis. We start to get some bone breakdown. There's certainly significant pain. Now, if we're looking at the skin, psoriasis is also considered an autoimmune disorder. Okay, it looks like you get this buildup of these little silver, we call them plaques, but like this little silver buildup that becomes a little bit itchy on the surface of the skin. Again, it's the same root cause. We're just attacking a different body system. So now they're not having issues with joints like somebody who has an autoimmune disorder for rheumatoid arthritis. In this case, they're not recognizing portions of the skin and we're attacking the surface of the skin. So autoimmune diseases really work the same way. It's just what it is that you are attacking that makes them slightly different. All right, let's break down this word rheumatic. Let's see if we can figure out what the strict medical terminology definition is. And again, if you want to hit pause to test yourself, please do. Okay, so there is no prefix here. The root term here is rheumato or rheumo. Okay, both versions are acceptable. And rheumato or rheumo refers to a watery flow. So in between your joints, we have this nice little fluid that normally cushions for most of us. But you can see, as we've just talked about, why this might be a little bit problematic. The IC suffix ending refers to pertaining to, so rheumatic really just is pertaining to that watery flow or that stuff that we find between our joints. All right, the next disease we're going to talk about that really is associated with the immune system is type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is when our body starts to attack a particular cell inside of our pancreas called a beta cell, and that is the cell that makes insulin and helps us regulate our sugar inside of our bloodstream effectively, and so that our blood sugar doesn't get to be too high and create all sorts of problems. Again, this is the body not recognizing an organ, in particular, a particular cell in that organ, as being part of the self, so it actively attacks it. Another example is multiple sclerosis. Again, this is autoimmune driven. Around our nervous system, we do have some things that wrap around the parts of the nervous system that we call myelin. We do have a video posted on that, so if you're interested in learning a little bit more about axons and myelin and parts of the nervous system, certainly reference that video. We'll link it below here for you. But when we start to attack those portions around the nervous system, okay, we create some neurological problems. And MS, which is the abbreviation of multiple sclerosis, comes with a lot of symptoms. It could come with vision loss, muscle weakness, loss of muscle control, sensation problems, because your nervous system controls a huge portion of your body and what it does for you. So the symptoms, because we're attacking that nervous system inappropriately, can be pretty far and wide.